Hello.
Party time for party people.
Party time.
Live number 2 of 2026. First live on my channel, which is
I know.
this is the most action this channel has seen in like 6 to 8 months.
Hey.
Which needs to end. Like, I really need to start posting again. Even lovely Luke Winch is like, I can't wait for you to bring content back, and I'm like, yeah.
Oh, he's bringing his channel back, isn't it?
Yeah, it's ace. I watched his most recent video. It's good.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet.
Top 5 of 2026 so far, which I think is becoming quite popular for a couple of people, to be fair. I've seen it on BookTok as well. So
I have only read, check this out, for me this is such a small amount. I've only read 10 books this year so far.
That is crazy. Usually you like blast through loads of stuff.
I've literally just not been on it at all.
I think I'm already behind in my reading challenge. Does that work? Yeah, I'm 4 books behind already. I've read 9.
Oh, yay!
Oh no, 10, because I finished this book 20 minutes ago, and I haven't counted
Slow
it.
reader train. Slow reader train. Woo,
But I'm also slow reader train. You are not. This is absurd for you. I'm really annoyed that I'm like 4 books behind. I didn't realise that. Oh well, that's by the by. That's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Bloodmage. I obviously just said I finished it 20 minutes ago. So what did you rate it?
Hello, surprise.
I know. I need to get better.
For me, you're gonna be surprised. You're gonna be surprise again. Like 3 stars.
I did see on Goodreads, but I didn't want to take your thunder. Yeah, I would say it's probably like a 3-star, high 3-star. I think, like, as much as I think my main problem with this book, 1000%, and obviously before we get into it, we will do spoilers. We won't. Have to.
Don't talk in a linear timeline. We can't remember names and spoil the shit out of the books.
Yeah. The thing that I think I struggled with the most is that we spent obviously the last book getting to know these characters, watching a lot die, and then I came into this book, and for me, the only real one that is there's a couple of things, like the main character though that like crosses over from the first and second book is Talandra.
Yes.
We have the mention of Rosa, who was also in the first book. But everyone else, unless I'm wrong, which is quite possible, was new.
Yeah, so we've got Katia, and who's new. We did have, I don't know why, sorry, I'm showing them. We did have a mention of Balthus.
Yes.
The last book, and Vargas was in it very briefly.
Yeah.
We touched on. So I did like that you could tell it's still part of the same world, because people and events from the first book were mentioned, but it very much followed different people. So,
yeah, I agree with that actually.
Like, but to be fair, Talandra was it referenced her. It followed her more than I expected it to.
Yes. Yeah, 100%.
Out of all the previous books, we did follow her the most, but
yeah, I don't know. I didn't like that. Like, no one else was there. I think that the first book obviously left off in a place where I was not. I know that we looked at the blurb in the last live and we saw the main 3 characters in the back of this book were not in the first one, and I was fine with that. But I also kind of thought that maybe we would get more of a mention of Balthus, because he like rode off into the sunset at one point.
Yeah, exactly.
And
all it mentioned was like, oh, Balthus was exiled, and I mean, there's still very much this, and they say it's because of how he won the war in the first book, because of like the overwhelming power that he had, that scared people, and obviously he was exiled, and it's that magic is still very much something people are scared of. And I'm just like, suck it up, Buttercup. Seriously. Like, somebody saves your life, and the first thing you're saying is like, that's dangerous. They're going to get me. No, he released all that power because he was killing bad guys. At no point did he or any of his fellow battle mages go after anybody that was just a normal civilian.
Yeah.
So this out and out prejudice against them, it winds me up because it's fair enough. There are some bad people that have magic, as we will find out, but it's like he was protecting them, and they're like, "Who was scared
Yeah.
of people with magic, and they're gonna do this." Oh God,
Yeah.
seriously.
I agree, and yeah, people felt like if they mentioned his name, then bad things would happen to them too. And I was just like, what is your deal? Like, I don't get it. But what I will say is, although I am thinking more 3 stars for this, don't take that as this is in any way a bad book. Like, it's not.
Oh
It's
no.
I will 1,000% highly recommend Stephen Orion every time for like his battle scenes. That they're not really battle scenes because they're not like mass. In this
Yeah.
book in particular, the last book was a bit more mass fighting, but like
Yeah.
the one-on-one fight scenes within this book he's just so good. He's so
Yeah.
good at writing these
Very
things.
descriptive to a point where you almost feel sick, but kind of hold it back a little
Oh,
bit.
there were quite a few places that I was like cringing because of like things being described and the gore and the things falling out of people and stuff. You know, it's quite.
Oh yeah, that bit, yeah. When she was trying to hold us healthy.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, I forgot about that for a second.
Yeah,
So yeah, I said, well, maybe sometimes he just go into it a little, but he does it so well, and it's it really, even though, like you said, we knew that we were coming into this book and we were following different people, um, that have some links to like what happened in the previous book, but it's just, I don't feel like I felt particularly connected to anybody in this one.
I agree.
Whereas
I think that was another thing as
in the
well.
first book, I really loved Balthus and Vargas. Like, I really liked them as characters.
Yeah.
I didn't want any of them to like have a bad end. I didn't want any of them to die. But following the new people, I was just kind of like, nah, okay.
Yeah, I agree. I think my favorite point of view in this one was actually Frey. I think that was his name. He lost. There's mention of him losing his dad in the previous book, so the previous war. And then there's also mention because he can wield magic, but he was never sent to the Red Tower, which I think is quite interesting.
Yeah.
When he's like struggling with obviously what happened to his dad, his final case throughout majority of this book, and we get to a point where he gets given the final pages. The king had ripped them out of his book for whatever reason. He gave them back to him and said, look, like, I think you need to read this, but once you've read them, burn them. And he was like, not going to do that, but okay. And then he read these pages, and there's a point where his dad is saying like, oh, I really hope like my son doesn't regret that or is mad at me for keeping him back from the Red Tower because I didn't go to the Red Tower. My parent kept me home because they didn't want me to leave for like 5 to 10 years, and I didn't want that for him. And I was like, that's really selfish. Like, I understand that might have worked for you, but I feel like I feel like that's also like a running theme for Frey's point of view throughout the book is that he's constantly thinking, well, maybe if I'd have gone, then I'd know how to use my power, or I'd know how to do this,
Yeah.
do that. And he encounters other magic users and just looks at them as if in envy almost, because he's like, wow, maybe I could have learned to use my powers like that if I'd have gone because they went to the Red Tower. Or
yeah, and he wasn't given a choice, and I do agree. I think that was selfish, and I think him. I don't fully understand why they kept the journal pages from him.
I don't really understand why they were ripped out, because personally, from what I understood from obviously reading said book, because I did read this book, believe it or not, was the pages didn't really give us anything apart from the idea that his dad is obviously a little bit hesitant that he kept his son back from the Red Tower, and there's a little bit mentioned about flesh mages, which also that's bloody disgusting.
Oh my god, that is gross, like that.
But otherwise, I was kind of expecting like this big reveal of something, and I was like,
yeah,
this is very sweet, very sentimental, but it's not what I was expecting.
no,
I just liked
I
it.
thought like they were gonna he was gonna give some big secret about the Red Tower. Like, I didn't send you because there's a secret about the Red. Obviously,
Yeah.
we were sort of given hints that maybe, well, not so subtle hints that maybe some people believe that the Red Tower might be the ones producing these rogue mage types,
Yeah.
and that because of the way that the Red Tower is run, nobody really knows what goes on in the training with them, and so and these flesh mages and are coming out of like nowhere and they don't know where the fuck. So there was kind of hinted that it's possibly people think it might be the Red Tower that are making these mages.
Yeah.
So I thought that this big thing at the end that from these 2 pages was going to be that his dad had found something out about the Red Tower, which is why, like, do you know what I mean? I thought it was
Yeah.
going to be that. Like, I didn't send you there because I found out this, this, and this. It was like, oh, just because I didn't go.
Yeah. Yeah. Or like, you know, I didn't send him because I know what our power really is being a flesh mage or something. You know, like, oh well, I know that the root of my power is something bad and wrong, and they wouldn't like it. You know, maybe something like that. But it wasn't. It was very sentimental. And again, I like the sentimentality. It's very cute. But where was the reveal?
Where was the reveal?
What is happening? Yeah, I don't know. I was just a bit like, okay, cool.
I did like Frey though, to be honest. Like, it was.
I genuinely do think he's my favorite point of view throughout the whole thing. Like, I actively wanted to read more. Like, don't get me wrong, I did want to read more about Talandra and Chast and everyone else. But for Vargas, not Vargas, for Frey, I was like, oh, what next?
Yeah.
Oh, what next? Because he was dealing with more of the mystery element almost.
I think that's why I liked him as well. Yeah, it was kind of like, I don't get me wrong. I love like Stephen's battles, like fight scenes. I love the magic and however gross some of the magic abilities of people. I do love the magic system as well, but I did really like the mystery element that we had with Frey, like trying to find out and like do some digging and trying to find out about himself, but also about the world of magic and find out more about his dad. It was like multiple different avenues he could have gone down.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just think Talandu, it was sort of following up as we found out that she's pregnant. And it feels weird though because we kind of skipped a year, didn't we? Where like she's found a husband, she's like she found a man, she was married off.
Found a man.
Found a man, married off. And this husband is away all the time, it seems. And she's pregnant, and she didn't want to show it. But
which
clearly still,
because I feel like as well, like Talandra has got like a really interesting arc of like life because she's, you know, in love with a woman in the first book.
Yeah.
And then
kind of still in the second book. You can tell there's still feelings there.
Yeah, 100%. And then gets crowned queen and is like, well, I'm gonna have to make an heir. You can't do that with a woman, naturally.
It's a breeze.
It's very, very true. So then she lets that love go and she's like, oh, you've got to go. Shoo. I need to find me a man now. Finds this man within the like grey space between books 1 and 2. Gets pregnant and like, I don't know, I feel like she's a very good example of like being in these kind of minority elements, you know, like to begin with she's in love with a woman, and then in the next book she's trying to run a kingdom and not be undermined while carrying a child, you know, without having her husband around all the time to do these things because she's got 50,000 things going on all the time. And I do really respect her as a character with the strength and the like tenacity that she just keeps.
Absolutely, doing,
you know, like, I think it's a really good point that Stephen makes of just like, I love how him as an author can bring in real life things, struggles, examples, and like weave them into his fantasy world. I think that's really
Yeah.
cool. And he does that in like every series that he writes.
Yeah, and it's not too heavy-handed either, but it's
No.
and I think it's like it's similar to like in the first book where he made them like spies and made them badasses, but not cold-hearted. He knows how to write a good female in a book.
Yes.
Like obviously we had Katia,
Mhm.
and like I said, although I didn't really connect with her as much as I did with Talandra in like the first book, she's still a very well-rounded character. She's still he writes females very well.
Yes.
Very
agree.
well.
Agree.
I agree.
Yeah, I put Stephen in the same kind of category as Rob J. Hayes. Like,
yes,
they are male authors who I will happily read female characters from.
Because you know they're not gonna like when you read some books, they're like, oh my god, not another woman like this.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Also, again, highlighting real life struggles that
yeah.
people go through and that are quite real. Not just like, wow, my boobs are too big. Like,
Yeah. Do you know what as well though? I am glad that, because I know that there's this thing in fantasy where they have like when they get married, they can take other people to the beds and stuff. They have that. I'm kind of glad that it didn't. Obviously, you can still tell there's feelings between her and I keep forgetting her name. I want to call her Shaz, but she's not called Shaz. Her and her ex.
yeah.
But they've still got jobs to do,
Mm.
and despite them being still slightly awkward around each other, they're
Just get on with
still, yeah, they're still cracking on with, and there's none of this like still secretly taking each other, or not so secretly taking it to the bed, and it's the you could tell that the book's introduced based about people's relationships, but it's not like a romance, so it doesn't make it. And that's why I kind of like these kinds of books sometimes, because there's relationships which obviously happen as life goes on, but it is more about sort of like the political climate and like the war and the magic and
all the other
warring
goings on.
nations. Yes, all of the plethora of other goings on.
Yes.
But we finally got the Lord of Light. Was that was pretty gruesome.
Yeah, it was pretty gruesome, to be honest. And we'll see if he comes back, because he might still. Like, it's
Yeah,
in the book. Like, it depends if his followers bring him back. So if they believe in him enough,
it's I think the fact that that was like right near the beginning of the book as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Not far from the beginning.
Yeah, and then it's like fully confirmed like right at the end in the last chapter.
Yeah, well, the fact that he hadn't
spoken about in the last chapter.
The fact that he was given a year is like it's been a year since he was given this warning about stop interfering in people's lives.
Yeah.
Still didn't fucking learn.
Nope.
And they were still begging, like, oh, don't do this, don't do this. But at the end, I'm like, he's giving you a year. Like, you could have turned your life around. You could have sorted your shit out.
You could have turned your life around.
Like, bro, seriously, did you just think you were taking the piss? Like, he warned you, and he warned you good. Like, I would take that one and be like, I'm not gonna mess in humans' lives. I'm just gonna live my life and just try and be the god that they think I am. But no. No, you have to go fuck about people's lives again, and just got ended for it. And I was laughing, but also like, oh my god, this is gross.
Yeah, it's not very smart of him at all.
So, what did you think of the other main characters?
I liked Monroe. Does she count as a main character? I don't know, because she's not really on the back of the book. I don't think. It's Katya, Chos. Is she on the back of the book? So
I shall read the back of the main characters, and Chos, Katya, Frey, and Byron.
Yeah, so Monroe isn't a listed character on the back.
But yeah, I would wager that I would say that
she's pretty main.
yeah.
Yeah, I liked her as well. To be fair, I liked all of them. Like I said, Frey's definitely my favourite. I thought Byrne was so suspicious about the whole thing. I was like, what is going on with you? And like right at the end when they basically put him on, you know, mental health leave, like and Frey was like, yeah, I've noticed you changed, and we'd seen all these things about like flesh mages coming in and like people changing slightly because they're like they suck you dry of energy and like become you, which is very odd. Very cool premise, but very odd. I was like waiting for Frey to be like, I know you're the flesh mage and you've Burn.
I feel like that was a bit of a. He was acting weird. Obviously, he knew Frey's dad, so there's going to be that sort of bittersweet thing about him. Like Frey ended up following in his dad's footsteps, but he really didn't want that. And obviously, we find out that he really didn't want him to follow him on his path. So the fact that Byron was trying to stop him, and he was acting. Well, he says he was acting the way that he was because he wanted to stop him. I don't think that was fully true. And I was waiting for him to turn around and be like, the reason he's acting that way, found out that he'd been taken over by a flesh mage just like the other guy was.
Yes.
But
and then
he's
you're
just
like,
disappeared,
oh,
hasn't he?
he's just sad.
Yeah.
Fine. But then at the end, and they've got this like massive portal open and all this stuff's going on and there's lightning everywhere.
He sacrificed himself.
Power coming from the sky. And he like gets taken. And I was just a bit like, right, okay. And to be fair, I was quite sad.
Why though?
What happened there? Because he's like stabbing this hand that comes through the portal. And he's like stabbing it. Frey shouts his name, and I think, like, personally, I'm like, the portal's looking like it's shutting. I understand you're in like some manic rage, but I would have been like, I'm gonna step back now because that's closing. No, he keeps going. Then the hand grabs him and takes him through the portal. Where is that portal going to? Are we going to find out in the next book? I don't know. Does Byrne come back as a? I don't even know what he could come back as. Like maybe like a puppet or something. I don't know. Does he do that?
A puppet of a flesh mage.
Yeah.
He's still. I mean, clearly he's not a flesh mage because he did try. He like basically sacrificed himself to save Frey.
Yeah.
So we know that he's not a bad guy. I was still dubious the whole time. I was like, he's still acting like a dick. He's still because it was constantly mentioned that he's not acting the way that he used to. He remembers him. Frey remembered him a certain way, and he's not acting like that. And the way that the guy was, it was just like, I want you to keep an eye on Byrne. Like as soon as he comes in, like no introduction to the place or anything. It's like, oh, by the way, this guy that's your mentor that was like your dad's friend. I just want you to keep an eye on him, like just spy on him. And so I was like, cool, dude.
Yeah.
Like
I was spying on him. Like I really don't know. I feel like there's like more to that, but I don't know if there actually is or if I'm just overthinking it.
It's because we can't trust authors to just be.
You
like,
can't trust authors.
The first reveal is not always like. The first reveal is not always the end goal reveal, is it? Like
yeah, and also what I have to remember, whether it was in his original plan or not, Stephen has written a second trilogy that follows this on 10 years later. So does that then mean? Doth that mean that we won't get answers to some things until we're in the 10 years later segment?
Oh no, don't do that. You can't do that.
Don't do that.
You can't do that.
You can do
Stephen
that.
Arion.
Quite well. And he might have done that. So we don't know.
He might have done that, and I'd be slightly
find out next month.
Slightly perturbed if he did that.
Find out next month on the next episode of like
it's all about fantasy.
Yeah. That's all we have time for today. But yeah, I don't know. There's that possibility. So yeah, Byrne's cool. Toss, I'm iffy on. I don't think it's because like I didn't like him, but at the same time, I don't remember being overly like bothered. If I'm not honest, I feel like his chapters were a lot more like backstreet political than the other ones. And I did really like his friend that he goes to save, the Vorga.
Yes.
Who turns out to actually be a female, which I think is so odd, but really interesting. Like for a character you've created, like not being funny the minute that they realised that she was a girl, because she could like deflate and inflate her chest. I was like,
honestly, when I read that bit, I was listening to this book. When I listened to that bit, I was like, nah, because I was like crocheting at the same time.
I missed, because I'm listening to it as well, I missed that it was the chest and something was inflating, and I was like, was the reason that you were kicked out of the Vorga because you liked a man and you're a man? Is
yes,
that
that's what I thought as well. Like, yeah, that's what I said. No, that's why I said, like, I missed it initially, and I was like, wait, what? Like, and then like,
rewind.
Because then he said that bit, and then then it mentioned that she was a woman. I was like, wait, what? And then I had to rewind it and go back and be like, oh right, yeah, because like it's how it's why would that not come up before? I mean, I know that.
Also, can we just highlight the fact that she was like, we prefer to swim with, it's easier to swim with them deflated. And I was like, you are so right.
Yeah. Why can't we do that?
And then, like, why doesn't that happen why isn't that normal human behavior? Obviously, she's not freaking human, but still, I was like, genius. Actually genius. And I just love how, like, throughout the whole book, Joss is like, this guy is scary. He's terrifying.
He's savage.
He's savage. Kill anybody.
You can't kill. No, he was at the beginning when we first met. He was like, you can't kill them. Don't kill them. Don't kill them. And then this other guy goes absolutely fucking apeshit at him in the ring, and then the Volga just bites into him and starts ripping. I was like, oh my days, this is like bare knuckle fighting, like extreme.
Yeah.
And
what I also kind of loved was that you get to afterwards, after all the fighting's done, he's found out that this Vorga is a girl, and he's like, I don't know how to act around you anymore.
Yeah.
What do I do? It's a girl.
Yeah, he went proper like nerd on it, didn't he? Like, oh my god,
my feelings are so confused. I was like,
female.
but I'm like, and then I kind of was like, but I'm confused. Does that mean that you loved him when you thought he was a him, or is it just because like you know like you're mistaking that closeness for almost a romantic?
Yeah, I was a bit. I'm glad it didn't go down that way. But at one point, the way that it was being described, that he was looking at her, or like how close they were, and like when he realized that she was a woman, and like what he'd know, I was like, no, you can't suddenly be attracted to her just because you know that she's female. Because had that incident,
he's in love with Monroe. Which is
yeah. So I was glad it didn't go down that way. And it's like when him and Monroe finally became a thing, I was waiting though. I was waiting for something to happen to Choss or something, because she did that thing. Don't you die on me? I'm like, fuck off! Stop saying that. Why would you say that? Don't you die? Like, don't you die on me? Stop. Why do people say that?
But they survived this time.
They did this time. And then went off into the sunset together.
Yeah, they did go off into the sunset together.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah. So I did really like her. She was very strong, and I love the fact that like she used her. Could you call it a gift? Because a gift is like bad luck.
Yeah, but I also liked how Frey was there going, but if you got trained, you could use this for greater good. And I'm like, but what actually is your gift? Because like I don't think it's that. I feel like that's just
a consequence of it.
Yeah, or like because it's untrained, because she's also untrained.
Maybe.
Because they always say that like the untrained people have accidents and often kill people.
Yeah.
Because they have so much power within them that they don't know how to control, that they just kind of like implode or explode or just explode. You know, like I don't know. She found it interesting.
Yeah. I was worried about her when, like, she's not a trained fighter, and she was just going in being like,
Zap.
just a fucking savage, and I was like, oh my god, this bitch has no fighting experience, and she's just like waving a magic round, like, oh, I'm just gonna try this out for a little bit, like.
I whip my hair back and forth. Does my job for me, basically. Yeah, that is kind of the vibe that I also got. I don't know, but yeah, I also really like how, like, at the start we're following Monroe, and it is very much a case of like she's trying to join the Silent Order, which is run by Queen Talandra, and they're like, no, we've given you many chances. You're too reckless.
Yeah. What do you mean?
And then by the end of it, they're like, come with us.
But also, you kind of understand why
like, we want you to be a spy.
Yeah. But also, when at the beginning, you're like, what do you mean she's so reckless? At the end, you're like, so that's what you mean by she's reckless.
She's literally reckless.
Runs into a fight untrained and be like,
I'm like, sees fire, runs at it instead of running away from it.
I'm going to see if I can beat these bad people.
Yeah.
With my untrained magic.
I'm going to fight this high up woman because she's annoyed me for many years, and I don't like how she teaches me, how she treats me. So I'm going to get her. Fair play, just get her. Like,
yeah, but he's still very much like, I'll wing it and see if it works. See if I can get her.
100%, and it's just bonkers. I don't know. I did enjoy her point of view, I think, more than Choss. I liked that Vargas came back a little bit. Like I said, I wish that was kind of like more from the post. But speaking of post people, there was somebody called Eloise who spoke funny, as if she had been burned and had burnt her vocal cords or something.
Yes.
Do you know how long it took me to realise that they were saying Eloise? And I went, oh shit, someone in the last book was called Eloise and she was dying.
I was, it took me a while to sort of cotton on, but also, like, I was thinking, what do you mean? And then I was thinking, like, how could she still have a magic? But obviously she would still have a magic because she didn't lose the magic, she was dying, weren't she? So, and it was just, yeah.
And then Eloise has the power of healing. I think it was
That's crazy.
I think, yeah, it was her, wasn't it? And she healed that, like, ginger kid who'd been beaten up by his family because he possessed some magic.
Oh, that was awful.
And also because she says in that moment when they're like, oh, you can heal. Oh my goodness. I thought that was lost. And she went, yeah, I had to go to a very dark place to learn that. What's darker than dying?
Yeah. Yeah, so obviously she was able to heal herself, but not fully heal herself because
was that because Balthus tried to heal her and it, like, essentially jumper cabled her ability?
Yeah, maybe. But she's very intriguing, and I want to know why she feels like she has to be so mysterious. If that is the case, like if it is that Eloise, well, even if it's not, like, obviously I know that Bloodmage is magic.
Why would there be another person with the same name? I feel like Stephen has, like, a plethora of names. He has the whole universe of names to pick from, and he picks the same name in 2 books about different people. That's too much of a coincidence for me.
I just don't know why she was, like, hiding.
Maybe because she doesn't like that she's disfigured because she got burnt. Maybe she didn't heal. Maybe she's just, like, healed so she's half alive.
Yeah. But yeah. But she was, like, severely burnt, wasn't she? She was, like,
that's what I mean.
Almost to a crisp.
Maybe that's why she's, like, hiding in the hood and the mask. She's like, whoa.
Yeah. That's really sad though as well.
Yeah, but it adds to the mysteriousness.
Yeah, but she is also savage. I'm hoping that
I think I would be too if I'd basically died. and then come back.
Yeah. But
I
I
don't think
think
that'd be nice anymore.
I'm hoping that seeing as we're just gonna say that it is her and she is still alive and she's still around. I'm hoping that means that Balthus isn't that far away.
I'm thinking that I'm pretty sure I read this in the blurb for the next one when I was doing my deep dive in the last thing. I think he is mentioned in the blurberino.
Blurby blurb.
Blurb of the third book. But I don't know. So let me take a gander. There are 3 more people that we have not met. No, Balthus is on here.
Yes.
Traveller and an infamous mage who single-handedly ended the war.
Balthus.
So I think that that's what I'm looking forward to for the next one, in the sense of, you know, I'm not excited, that's the wrong word. I'm intrigued, that's probably a better word. I'm intrigued to find out, like, where he sits, or like what's happening, or how it all, you know, like, works together. Because somehow this series, which currently to me does, although they are clearly in the same world, does almost feel like 2 standalones, despite some crossover. I'm interested to see how they tie together in book 3, because they kind of have to. Otherwise, why write a trilogy and not just write 3 standalones set in the same world?
Yeah, but obviously near the end of the book we come to Talandra is now like the 2 queens are working together, have agreed to work together for the greater good.
Greater good. Don't worry, it's only ketchup.
And so we've got that, but in this book we did also leave quite a few open-endedness going on, so we don't really
yes.
So we don't really know what's happened to Byron. We assume he could be dead or just taken to another place and time, and we need to know what's going to happen with Talandra. Is this alliance that she's made going to be beneficial? What does it entail? Eloise, is she our Eloise?
Who is she, our Eloise? She's the same one.
Is she our one?
Yeah.
We need to know, like, is Balthus doing okay?
I don't think so. No.
In his exile.
Yeah.
Is Frey gonna be the good guy and save the world? What's gonna happen with Katia? What's her connection and role gonna be in this? There's gonna be a final battle in there. There's gonna be a final.
Yeah.
Even if it's just to sort of round off this arc in the world, there's going to be a final big bad that are they all going to come together as a like a culmination of people from book 1 and 2, and how is that going to work? Because we kind of know how people are linked, because there was some like vague links between people that were mentioned from between books 1 and 2, so we can kind of see how people are linked. But how is he going to bring that together in book 3 so it's cohesive and it don't feel like it's just been, it probably, I'm not saying it will know how to do it, it will be done well, but it's I don't think the last book is that big and to do everything that I feel like would need to be done to make this a cohesively rounded arc.
Yeah.
It's just a small page count. It's going to need to be done well.
Yes.
Because this is not the kind of open ending that I like. Give me
no, I agree. I don't know.
Give me a psychological thriller that gives me a bit of a like open-ended question is fine, but I don't like open-ended fantasies.
No, I get that. Yeah. I don't know. I'm intrigued. I feel as though this one, for me personally, did suffer Middlebrook syndrome a little bit, because there's been a point. There's been a point to us learning about these characters. Maybe there's been a point, like, to get, especially Talandra, from A to B.
Yes.
What is that point? You know? And I just hope that book 3 is, like I said, like wrapping it all up, making it more and just ending it on a high for me. Because, yeah, like I said, I always enjoy Stephen's writing. But, yeah.
Did we find out in book 1 who Talandra's husband to be was? I know that she mentioned that she had to find a husband and have an heir, but in book 1 did we find out who he was?
No, because she hadn't found him yet. She found him in book 2.
Yeah, between book 1 and 2.
Oh no!
I'm just thinking, like, I don't know. Is he away just because it's an insignificant part of the book, and it's supposed to be about Talandra, or is he going to come back and we're going to find out he's actually an important part of the puzzle?
I don't know. Maybe he is literally just the way of pushing a plot point of her being pregnant.
Yeah. But you start to question everything. You start to question the small things, and you're like, "Ooh, but what about this one?" And you can overthink things and go down a rabbit hole of like.
Yeah, and then you kind of get yourself a little bit disappointed when you get to the next one because you're like, "Oh, well, I thought this was going to happen." Been there. Yeah. I am excited to read the next one.
I'm just curious. I'm curious to find out what's going to happen with everybody, but also Byron. Is he gonna come back?
Yeah.
And is he going to be the same guy that left, or is he going to be corrupted in some way because he got dragged through a portal?
Maybe.
A crack, whatever it was. That sounds wrong. I know what I mean.
I'm glad you do. That's good. I don't really think I've got any other points for this one, if I'm honest.
No, it was very quick. To say that there's quite a bit that goes on. It's not a long book. It's not like massively in-depth political intrigue like.
Yeah, I feel like
Light Trilogy.
I was literally about to say the Light Trilogy because it's like one of my favorite series. I think that also those books are freaking massive though. Like there's plenty of room to add all of that in. Sometimes you don't need it all, but the way that everyone intersects in that series is also different because I think pretty much like 80% of the characters within that series overlap. Actually, probably even more than that. They all pretty much overlap at one point or another. You know, like they all kind of know each other and either fight each other or deal with each other or something. I really want to reread the Light series. Now I've mentioned it. Can't do that. I've got so many other things on these shelves that I need to read. But yeah,
I definitely think that. We both know Stephen's writing, and we've read from him before, so I have no doubt that he's going to end it in a good way. But it's 100%. Just that right now, I can't think of how he's going to cohesively bring everything together, and give them a happy ending. Obviously, because Choss and Monroe have kind of got their happy ending. Is that the end of them? Is because that to me would make sense. They went off into the sunset together, to go and like. Yeah, so for me, for them, that's their act done. Like, there's no point them coming back.
Yeah.
Because Choss was just a fighter. It wasn't like he would, it was in the Royal Guard or anything at the time they left. So it was just sort of like he got caught up in a fight. So,
but wasn't it Monroe that they sent to the Red Tower?
Shit.
So she's
she's infiltrating, isn't she?
She is infiltrating, and she's gonna write letters to all.
She is.
So yeah, if she doesn't come back, I'll be very surprised.
Because they sent her off to be like a spy, didn't they?
Yeah, they want to find out what happens to the kids in the Red Tower. Yeah. Fuck. So she's coming back.
Whether we like and Choss was like, "I'll go wherever you go because we're finally together."
Yeah, it's kind of like, I will say the ending of that is kind of giving me the same vibes that Balfours and his dad, I've forgotten his name already, did.
Yeah, Gregor.
Yeah, And his dad was like, "Well, I'm coming with you."
Yeah.
Okay. I abandoned you all those years ago. And now I'm coming with you. Balfour is like, "You don't have to. Please don't."
The negligent father returns.
So,
Yeah.
like they both rode off into the sunset, so I think they're all coming back. Well, Balfour is on the blurb for the next book. We have a couple of new characters in the next book. And then
That's dangerous, bringing new characters in book 3, because you've got to make them meaningful additions. So, like bringing someone in book 3, and alongside the amount, bear in mind the amount of characters we have been introduced to, and that seemingly, based on the previous 2 books, will have some kind of connection to this end goal. Bringing in additional characters, making us feel something for those characters enough, and make it feel like cohesive within like the larger casting. It's risky,
crazy,
but
easy.
But I'm sure he'll do well. But yeah,
we'll find out in the next episode.
Dun dun dun. We'll find out in
With
the
the next
next
one being on your channel, we will announce the date when we have agreed it between the two. No.
Look at us getting back on track.
We are back on track. Check us out. So proud of us.
So it'll be middle of it, like probably it's like second week in April or something. Like, yeah. Maybe. Second or third week in April, maybe. We can't get too far behind, otherwise we'll start, because we've got to start a new series. Whoop whoop.
The second week of April, I go away to work into the third week, so we just need to.
It's all right. You can do it from abroad. Do the live from your hotel room. Live in France.
You'd be like, what time is it? Don't know. Depends what time I get off site. Very spontaneous. Oh, that'd be interesting. No, let's not do that. That doesn't sound right.
No, I wouldn't do that to you. That'd be fucking mean. And what kind of friend would that make me? I'm like, you are doing it.
You will do this live. Okay, listen. Okay.
But yeah, this is fun. I'm looking forward to reading that book. And then we're moving on to
the series of 2026.
Yeah, and it'll be probably my 11th book read, because the likelihood of me reading another book is minimal. I'm just trying to think. What have we got next?
It's Emma L. Adams. It's not Traitor's Tome. That's book 2. Death's Disciple.
What happened there?
I don't know.
Tried to throw us out. Yeah, so Rob's later, isn't he?
Rob is later, yes.
So it's Emma next, isn't it?
It is Emma next, yeah.
I'm so excited.
No, Traitor's Tome is book 2. Death's Disciple.
Death's Disciple. So yes, we've got one last book of Stephen Arion's first trilogy, Age of Darkness. Boop, boop. And then we're going to be reading the Death's Disciple.
You're going back to indie published. Because these are not published yet.
Emma L. Adams.
Yeah.
So excited. Much wow.
Wow.
So excited. Much wow.
So excited.
So yeah.
Yeah. Well, see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.